Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Audrey from Power and Breath Yoga, and I will be leading you through about a 15-minute yoga practice, something that you can do every day, squeeze it in here and there when you have just a little bit of time, but maybe not the whole hour or 90 minutes like for a longer practice. So that said, let's get right to it. Make your way to standing at the top of your mat. Make sure you have two blocks and a strap ready, and we'll begin. Find your mountain pose to start. Feet might be touching, or your heels might be about hips width distance apart. The toes face forward. Arms by your sides, get nice and tall. If it feels stable here, maybe close the eyes. If that's too wobbly, just soften the gaze. Look at the floor a few feet ahead of you. We'll take 3 slow, steady breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 2 more times. Last full breath. Take a deep inhale. And a slow exhale. If the eyes were open, leave them open. If they were closed, gently flutter them open. We're heading into our ragdoll. Nice, easy forward fold. Take your feet hips width distance, maybe even a little bit wider. Start to round through the spine. You can hold up elbows. You can bend the knees here as much as you need to. Let the head and neck be heavy. Take a couple of breaths here. You might even find some movement, some swaying side to side. Find stillness in the ragdoll. Take one more breath. And a breath out. Slowly release the hands towards the mat. Find a forward fold. Maybe bring your feet a little bit closer. Maybe toes touch. Maybe their hips width distance. Forward fold. Round spine. Knees can be bent. Use the next inhale. Find your halfway lift and a flat back. So the idea here is to really engage the backs of your legs and engage your core. So wherever your hands need to land for support to keep the spine straight, keep the legs straight, take one breath in. As you exhale, forward fold, release, spine heavy, and round, knees can bend. Use your next inhale, slowly come all the way up to stand and straighten the legs. Reach the arms overhead. Big breath in. Exhale the arms by your side. I'm going to come down onto my knees and face you. You stay standing. Just want you to be able to see the arms. So with your next inhale, you're in your mountain pose, feet are touching or their hips width distance. Use the next inhale, reach the arms up overhead, maybe the palms touch. Exhale, slowly bring your hands to your heart. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, circle the arms, look up. Exhale, hands to the last one. Circle the arms, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to good. This time, inhale as you lift your arms up overhead. Take a hold of your left wrist. Maybe reach and wiggle, get a nice long spine. As you exhale, take a lean over to your right. So your right hand is holding the left wrist. You're taking that lean to the right. Keep your ears between your biceps. Maybe rotate the left ribs up and back. Take another fold in. Exhale, see if you can lower just a little further. Inhale to center, switch the grip of the hands. Hold on to that right wrist. Wiggle a little, get a nice tall spine. Exhale, take that lean to the left. Nice full breaths, another deep inhale. Exhale, come a little lower. Inhale, come through center. Release the arm by your sides. You're still standing at the top of your mat. Take your feet a little bit wider. Not quite the distance mat, but wider than your hips. Hands at the low back, fingertips pressed down. Hug the elbows towards each other behind them. Keep your legs straight as you start to press the hips forward. Find length in the spine, lift the chest. Maybe look up. If it feels okay on the head and neck, maybe start to look behind you. Keep pressing the hips forward. Good. Slowly, slowly, slowly come back to standing. Make your way carefully into that forward fold. Make it a ragdoll. Bring the feet a little bit closer. Hold opposite elbows. Bend the knees. Take another deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Release the hands towards the mat. Inhale, find that halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Soften through the knees if you need to. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach up, look up. Exhale the arms by your sides. Nice. Bring your to your waist. Get solid on your right leg. Really press through all four corners of the right foot. Take a step back. The left leg. Find a high crescent shape, a high lunge. You can keep the hands on the waist or the arms straight up overhead. Maybe look up. Take 4 more breaths. One more full breath. Keep holding. As you exhale, open to warrior two. So the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. The front knee bends, arms spread wide. Maybe over those right fingertips. 4 more breaths. You got this. Nice, slow, steady inhales and exhales. Breathing through the nose. Good. With your next exhale, the right forearm to the right thigh. Reach the left arm overhead. Find extended side angle. 5 full breaths. One more breath. Slowly backing off. Make your way back to the top of the step the left foot forward. Find your mountain pose, reset. Come to stand on that left leg. Get stable on the leg. Hands can come to the waist. As you are ready, step back with that right foot. Hands can stay at the waist or lift the arms up overhead. 5 full breaths. Anjaneyasana, high crescent. Good. As you exhale, open up into warrior two. Adjust what you need to adjust. Right foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Left knee is bent. Gaze over the left middle. One more full breath. Good. Make your way into side angle. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm overhead. Press through the outer edge of your back. One long line of energy from the outer edge of your right foot to your right fingertips. Slowly back off of this stretch. Make your way to the top. That find your mountain pose. Good. Coming into our balancing posture, you can stay at the top of your mat. We'll find tree pose So any version of tree that works for you. Start with the balance on the left leg. Maybe just come up onto your right tippy toe. Let the right knee open out to the right. If that feels stable, maybe the foot comes to the calf. Maybe the foot comes all the way to the thigh. Once you're settled, maybe to heart center. Maybe challenge the balance. You can lift the arms, maybe even up. Good. Slowly release, bring the hands to heart center and switch sides. Balancing on the right foot. Start just on those left tippy toes. See feels. Maybe bring the left foot a little higher. Maybe even higher. Good. Hands stay or hands come to heart center. Stay here or challenge the balance even further. Maybe lift the arms. Maybe even look up. Slowly returning, come out the way you came in. Hands back to the, slowly release the leg, shake it out. Let it go, make your way back to the top of the mat. Finding chair pose, 5 breaths in your chair pose. Feet can be touching or feet might be hips width distance apart, whatever feels able. So as you are ready, sink the hips low, reach the arms up and out. Maybe gaze the fingertips. Good. Sink the hips a little lower. Keep breathing. Roll the shoulders down the back. Take one more full breath in. As you exhale, release. Find forward fold. With the next inhale, find your halfway lift, flat back. As you exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, coming into plank pose. So you might come into supported with the knees on the mat and the shoulders over the wrists. Stay here to start. We're heading into our core work. We have push-ups. So if this is enough work for you right here, keep the knees on the mat. If you'd like, you can do all of the push-ups with it off the mat, heels extending behind you. Good. Set up your plank. Exhale, bend the elbow, lower down. Inhale, plank. Good. Lower and lift. That's 2. Lower and lift. 3. Hug everything in towards the midline. 4. Lower and lift. If that won't work, maybe for that second half, those second 5, you come up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 4 more. Lower and lift. 3, lift. 2, lift. Last one, lower and hold. Take a breath, press back up to plank, lower to your knees, hips to your heels. Find a child's pose. You can let the arms extend out in front of you or release the shoulders just a little bit. Bring the arms by your sides. Take a few breaths here. Good. Bring your hands towards your knees. Press yourself up to a seated posture. Just sink to one hip or the other and extend the leg out in front of you. Coming into our hamstring stretch that also has a hip opener, Shasana A. So you'll bend your right knee and plant the sole of the right foot against that inner left. Lots of options to set this shape up. You might have a block under the right thigh. If there's a lot of tension there in that hip, you might even sit on. Maybe you set it up with a strap around the ball of the left foot. Sitting up nice and tall, get a nice straight spine. Flex the left foot as you exhale, hinge forward. Keep the spine straight, keep the collarbones spreading wide. Engage the left leg, engage that quadricep. Find your breath. Good. Use the next in, slowly come up out of that fold and switch sides. So extend the right leg out, bend the left knee. Again, setting up whatever props you need to make this comfortable and accessible. Maybe around the right foot, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep the spine straight. That right leg straight if you can. Chest coming forward. Use the next inhale, slowly come up out of the fold. You can move the strap off to the side, setting up hip opener shape, Baddha Konasana, the butterfly pose. So your legs are in the shape of a diamond. Doesn't matter how big the diamond is, your legs might be out here, feet out way in front of you. They might come in closer. So wherever you sit up nice and tall with a straight spine, can hold on to the inner arches of the feet or maybe the ankles. Be active in the legs. Pull the knees down with the strength of your inner thigh. Get nice and tall. Here, or if it's accessible, start to hinge forward. That same straight spine. Keep the legs engaged, keep them down. Okay. 3 more full breaths. Use the next inhale, slowly come out of your fold. Bring the knees back together to touch, heading into just a little bit more core work before we come on to our back. So boat pose, lots of versions of boat pose. We have 3 of them for 5 each. So choose something you can sustain. You might just have your knees bent with your feet on the mat. You can hold on to the thigh, lean. This might be enough. Stay here. Option 2, pick up the feet. Can keep the hand behind the thigh. Option 2, extend the arms out. So 3 more breaths wherever you are. If it's accessible for you, you might even the legs. 2 more breaths. Good. Exhale, release. Just hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Take a breath. Good. Come back to boat pose when you're ready. 5 breaths, your version. Focusing on lengthening the inhales. Don't speed up the breath here. Get that nice straight spine. Lift the chest. 1 more full breath. Good. Slowly release. Cross the shins. Hug the knees in. Last boat pose. When you're ready, find variation. Maybe challenge yourself this time. You know it's the last one, so maybe taking it a step further. Maybe that means release hands from the thighs. Maybe it means straightening the legs, whatever it means for you. 1 more full breath. Yes. Good. Slowly release, cross the shins. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then release. Make sure there's enough room behind you to lay all the way down. Make sure you have a block handy. So bring the right next to your side and then come all the way onto your back. So we'll work on a back bend today. Pose. Same thing. If you can, 3 rounds of 5 breaths each in your bridge pose. Make sure your are facing forward. See if you can touch your heels with your fingertips. If you can't, just try to walk the heels in a little bit closer. Arms by your sides. Press through all four corners of the feet. Use the inhale to the hips. 5 full breaths. Keep pressing down through all four corners of the feet, squeezing the knees and thighs towards each. Maybe pressing the shoulders down and the triceps down. Take another breath. Exhale, slowly lower everything back to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. But when you're ready, 2 more times. 5 breaths each. Use the inhale. Lift the hips. Maybe this time interlace fingers. Good. If you have those fingers interlaced, press down through the forearms. Press down through the triceps. Press the shoulders down. Press the feet down. Lift everything else up. Take another full breath. Exhale, slowly lower. And shield wiper the knees side to side. Third and final back bend. If you've already had enough work, maybe you set this up as a supported bridge. You can bring a block under, go back. Take 5 breaths in whatever variation you choose right now. If you're lifting up, use the inhale to press the feet down. 5 nice, slow, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Good. If you're in that active variation, slowly lower the hips back to the mat. Block under your sacrum. Remove the block. Maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side. Eventually hugging the knees in towards the chest. Maybe rock side to side here. Feels good to you. From here, extend the leg out and keep that right leg hugged in. Make your way into your supine twist here. So as you are ready, onto your left side, the right knee comes to the left. You might square the shoulders. You might take the arm to the right, maybe your gaze to the right. Slowly come back through center, set it up on the other side. Left knee hugs in, right leg is out long. Rock onto your right side. Take a moment, adjust. Bring the shoulders back onto the mat. Extend the left arm out. Maybe gaze to the left. Coming through center. Setting up for an inversion, a supported inversion. So maybe legs up the wall is a good option for you. If you're not near a wall, that's okay. Take that block, bring it under your hips, right under your back, your sacrum for a little support. Once you have that, lift your legs into the air. The block should do about 90% of the work here. And if you need to, the knees can bend. You don't have to have straight legs. Take 5 slow breaths in and out through the nose. This feels like a stable posture for you. You might even close your eyes and bring your hands to your belly. You could stay in this shape for a rest, for a Shavasana. If you're ready to come out of the pose, bringing the feet back to the mat, lift hips, removing the block. Good. Eventually, press yourself up, finding a comfortable seat. I definitely encourage that you take a short Shavasana. Maybe do that on your own. For now, thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again next time.